Nice disruption, but the auto attacks follow through. Turn the other way, they get the latch from the better first one. How good it was the whoops turn, but then the avatars come through. Ice shooting the party. Even that Saturn Tormentor can't resist getting involved. As a Joe who has to retreat to the south, but the Spirit may cancel this. Oh, just missing him. But now the Dark Pact will bring himself a bit lower with this. And super whips on a point-blank arrow. Now leaping forward, will begin the chase to the left side. Joe does have the stout shield. They continue pursuit. It's 7 heroes, it feels like, fighting it out on this bottom side of the map. And in the end, it's going to be 3 kills going the way of Vici Gaming. That put Ice at 3-0. It's a triple kill for him on the Tiny to start this game off. And to make matters worse, they have also started to stack the jungle a little bit here for the Wisp, so...
Yeah, incredibly fast duel. So of course this is when Avalanche and Toss are both level 4 and you have the first level hero. That's when your burst combo is so incredibly strong relative to the health of enemy heroes. And then the second peak is when he starts getting 2 or 3 core items together with his IO. He's just gonna start hitting so incredibly hard.
Working on 820 now, Zeus throwing out the nukes, dropping that point very low. Stock will find him right as the chrono ends, but Avalanche prevents the follow-up double edge. DD runs back in, wanting to use it, then runs back out, afraid to die, ends up going down. FY with the mech, trying to just time this one out as Joe pursues. Looking to finish off the Wisp, but can't even get that kill. And now Ice is back into the fray. If they can connect on an arrow, Joe's going down most likely. Can he use the fog to get out? Tossing forward the Marauder, no escape in sight for Joe. Now, caught down in the river, can he leap out? Dodging the avalanche, this guy is like Neo in the Matrix, man. But it's just to survive, there's no objectives achieved from this. Oh my goodness, he's gotta work his ass off just to avoid feeding even more gold.
Oh, still a really nice escape here, and at this point for OB, absolutely everything counts. They got a fairly even fight there, as you can also see on the graphs. Nobody really gained an advantage from that, but I don't think that's good enough. Centaur.
Zeus ultimate to start this one off, and now Tiny will go in on the Centaur with that initial arrow. He gets swamped back, but it's not much of a swamp from 820, who still ends up with his buddy going down. Now one more club can end his life. 2 more smacks from Ice will do it. 3 end up falling as they also manage to lose the Clark on the other side of the engagement. Now Shao jumping in. Oh, that's a bad idea, my friend. Then the he throws out the avalanche toss. DD actually moved into the avalanche, causing him to be delayed in this position. He'll end up falling. More heroes hitting the deck. Maybe they get this Tiny kill, but he's disrupted. Another Dark Pact. They need this lead from Joe to hit. He's got to make it count. It's not going to matter. Smackdown. Wiz managed to chase down the Lich turret that time. And, well, Zeus has picked up an Ags, but now straight back to the pit to finish what they started here. Can he possibly turn this with the ult? For 40 seconds, not gonna happen.
No. And Rose will be using the slam unless the play comes too close, of course, at which point Ice will be one-shot. There's no way. This is... But the difference is just too big right now. Of course, should they pull it off? Uh-oh. 820.
Just free gold at this point. Fenrir will actually claim it, though. He can work towards his next item after this Blink Dagger.
I cannot... You know, I said it was hard to bring down Tiny. They have to do it twice now. It's
pretty much impossible.
It's not that they don't have the damage, but it's the consequences that...
This one was way too easy for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, very convincing performance from them. And what I found that it was reminding me a little bit more. We've had some very weird things in this tournament, let's be honest. But it reminded me more of the Vici we were used to seeing in 6-8-1. More structured, less chaotic, and like the series against both Newbie and IG, I feel like the teams were really confused around the map, making a lot of mistakes, bad decisions that couldn't necessarily just be blamed on the version, but just that the players maybe just didn't feel comfortable at all, not knowing exactly what was going on in the game. But this looked more like a classic dominating performance where you don't make mistakes and you don't really throw away a lead, so good on Vici.
Well, with that, we'll have to see if they get their hands on Tiny Wisp, or maybe even that Drow Visage again, if OB can collect their Necrophos for the answers to that. We'll take a quick break here, guys. We'll come back for Game 2. I'm LD, he's Cinderin. You're watching iLeague, brought to you by Beyond the Summit, and we shall return after a brief break. Jesus. Don't. English is hard, man. Alright, brief break. We'll be back. Stay tuned. That was 820 as well.
Oh,
so these tower auto attacks, he doesn't have a salve, no HP regen, no disruption. 2 kills fed away to a roaming Viper.
Great rotation from Viper to make a call. Moving to that bottom lane, very, very nicely done.
And they did see it with this ward.
This puts Ice in an incredibly good position. Not only has he not died for the first 3 minutes, but he's now level 4, and he got all the experience for that Shadow Demon kill as well, so he's looking really good. The small opportunity that OB had to make the kill on the Enigma, they didn't take the chance until the conversions were out, and then when they were, they couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, DD, he wanted the time lock out, backtracks the stop, but not the double edge. Needed to backtrack both there, so he'll end up going down. I do want to point out at this time, so it's not just that they have the good starts in, but they have items coming which will allow them to get this. As they go in mid lane on Xiaowei, both to try and keep himself alive, but Viper just keeps on pounding away at him. Manages to plink him down, and Super gets a nice kill there in the mid lane.
And with that, Fenrir is getting close to level 6 as well, and they have some great setup for the Mystic player. They've got Sand King stun, they've got Black Hole, Centaur Blink stun, Malefice is even pretty decent when it gets leveled up. Ice currently is level 2, but it's a 1-second stun on level 4, which is enough to land a fairly good Mystic flare. And even the Viper Strike with that extreme slow.
Caught out top lane, Silence can follow this, yeah, they'll stampede it, and then they'll follow up with the double edge, just to make sure they get that kill. The death of the offlane Void. He has managed to hit level 6, and he is getting close to Tread, so that's something at least. Well, on the bottom lane, Ice, he's trying to fight against this Terrorblade illusion. Constantly pushing in. Long DD also being pursued out mid. Super not able to finish him off, but does a lot of damage to him. And continues to farm. 1,400 gold. I'm imagining we'll just see that early point booster for him. He may go down here though. Disrupt or not disrupt. X into Torrent, into Vote, everything for Super, and it's enough to get the kill. A much needed kill for them.
They had Qualifiers of proven, I think. I'm pretty sure DD was level 5 or level 6 when he came in there. Just to the level 7 now, so... Yeah, at least one return kill going the way of OB. They definitely need this right now, and if they... I think the way to play this game for them right now is they still have, I think, a couple of smokes actually. They have one on Mirana, they have one restocking in 20 seconds, and just getting 1 or 2 crucial kills right now will buy them some time, and Terrorblade is still a great pick in this game. I still consider mainly Sand King his opponent, and although he will have his blink now at 10 minutes, Sand King will not be able to deal with Terrorblade on his own in a 40-minute game, for example, so they need to buy time and get him there, and I think...
역전에 발판이 마련되거든요.
With a couple of kills to get Joe to where he needs to go.
Yeah, so basically buy him some breathing room. That sounds like. Howdy booster. Not sure if that's enough to tank up through all this damage. Ice just seconds late. He can book the Black Hole, but there's 0 backup. He's probably gonna pay for this as well. X was used right as the Stampede comes out, but he's going back into Terrorblade's damage. Oh, the timing not quite right for the torch. Still DD. Time walks in, instant stun with the bash. Now the turn can come. Black in at the center through. FY connects on 2. OB possibly losing 3. I believe out from Long DD trying to run. There's no Pearl bot, but there is a blink. It is some auto text. Long range double edge secures that kill. A 3 for 2 exchange in the end.
Melee range.
Yeah, questionable.
A great call from Vici though. I really like that they...
Be a backtrack.
He's gonna gamble it? He is gonna gamble. He could have suicided to the neutrals.
No. With the Metamorphosis damage pounding it, Black can't kill off Xiaowei. He's gonna end up surviving. This TV's out of control. They need to shut him down. He gets a double kill. Call behind the tower. He does have his ulti, but he's got nobody to use it on. Can't get in range. Silenced at the final hour. He'll end up going down. They lose 2 of their key heroes there in the end. Xiaowei will. Epi still pulling down. Can't even use that. It's a great roll from FY. That time hitting 4 heroes. They'll still lose the kind of mates. So far 2 for 1, now making a 2 for 2. Ice casually striding through. Now a 2 for 3. Vici Gaming recover the fight and look for that 4th kill. FY another burrow in. He's isolated long TD but has no backup for this.
We'll get another burrow soon.
Oh, he does have the mono with the stick charges. Yeah. They're chasing. Arrow though, maybe not enough to keep him out. Couple auto attacks. Ice should arrive just in time at the Malefice. Will go the way of F. Nope, leap. Okay, one more Malefice tick, just enough damage. Now the Abby can come through, goes on to A20, that's all he gets is he's disrupted, but no animation for it. Then burrows through and finishes off Long DD, a double kill for FY. Man, that damage with the extra pulse is too much for dead Vici Gaming. It might be over soon, honestly. They've got the late game.
Think about how OB were starting to pull back after they got a good fight, then they got the tier 2 top that they sacrificed 2 heroes for, but in the last 3 minutes they sacrificed 8 heroes and 2 towers. And you know, to be bluntly honest, the first kill was okay, right? The boy got caught out, and then they kept falling for the same trick 3 times, and then they lost their tier 2. And then, I don't want to say they fell for the same trick because they were actually a bit more on, but the potential was there, and they lost even more. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they kind of are falling for the same trick at this point. Everybody just keeps running with Blink Dagger. He doesn't even have a force snap and just jumping them. Oh my goodness. He ends this game as the most farmed hero in the game. A jungle Sand King who roamed a lot early. His jungle was warded as well, mind you. He was not able to stack his big camp. His Blink Dagger was still at a good time. He ends this game the most farmed, probably the most leveled as well. Yeah, level 17 Sand King. He wins every category outside of kills. He's one short of Black Centaur, who was KSing as he has half the assists of FY.
Yeah, he also had the least denies on his team, and less last hits than
wow, okay, never mind. FY. Terrible. Absolutely
pretty
terrible.
Outstanding performance from FY in this game. He pretty much only had 1 or 2 mistakes in a 25-minute game as Sand King. That's pretty amazing, and he really put the team on his back in this one. When it looked the worst, he pumped out these 3-4 hero burrow strikes, and of course that's kind of a combination, right? If you land 4 hero burrow strikes, it means first of all you see a great opening, but also that the enemy team is out of position. And OB, they kind of seemed to lose focus at some point in the game, especially toward the end when they just kind of threw bodies at the enemy team, but also during some team fights, a little bit uncharacteristic for such experienced players to be as out of position as they were, and a player like FY will just punish that right away, as well as Black with some great Blink 3-man hoof stomps. We also saw 2 or 3 of those, and then, yeah, then the team fights just go their way.
They don't have a pivoting stomp. The Sunstrike comes through. First Blood will go the way of OB. Sadly, not going to that Invoker. 820 now trying to turn on FY, but he does have pretty good move speed. The raise from Joe not connecting, but he'll follow it up with the creeps. The creeps assisting him. He's got the long range raise. There you go. Jams it in, but dies to them in exchange. Oh, that hurts. FY trying to juke. He won't end up eliminated. It's a bloodbath in the top lane. The slight victors here will be OB, though it may end up being a full 3-man wipe for both teams with a Fenrir's respawn. Juking on the other direction, they've now turned on Soul Catcher, turns around for the nuke, DD, feeds away a freebie, and doesn't even get a return kill. Sunstrike also horribly whiffing, just assuming Fenrir would stop, I guess, and, well, maybe expecting him to try and juke back, but, oh my god, that was a very awkward exchange at the end there.
A couple of mechanical misplays here from OB and Vici Gaming easily getting the better exchange here. The thing is, if this top lane turns into a 3-on-3, they're already winning the 2 other lanes. Void will lose to Enigma. I think Xiao is actually doing fairly well here, all things considered, with how hard that lane should be. He's doing an
oh no, 2 hero stomp top lane. Double edge on the Xiao. The Splitter will be there, but one more auto attack will finish him off. The Shadow Feed dies another time. And now they turn, potentially going for 820. Another Frostblast Super still alive. Sunstrike. No, not gonna connect. Not even close, really. 820 will end up surviving, though. They get the counter kill. They work on FYs now on the ledge, and with the poison stacks adding up, he's got to juke this 3rd one. Actually, this level 3 poison already. Wow, he's level 5. That's pretty scary. That might be enough to salvage this lane. It does do a lot of damage. Look at these support levels, man.
Deal. Yeah. Whenever you have support exchanges this early on, the support levels are going to shoot through the roof, and I think this favors the Dire more than the Radiant. They're playing against a Lich who doesn't really benefit from the levels as much as Shadow Demon on the Shrek do, I would say, until he hits that level 6. And in addition to that, it's a good way of safeguarding the Shadow Fiend if you have a strong support duo on the lane, so I think that's alright, but once again, the problem is what is going to happen in the other lanes. If you keep fighting up there, Blat is going to get out of control eventually. Invoker currently 10 CS against 34 of Morphling with 21 denies as well, so Invoker getting horribly underleveled. Now he's even going to get ganked. He's totally dead here in the mid lane. He's looking
and I will go to Black.
Solos, not gonna lie.
Now bottom lane, there was a Chronosphere, but Ice still standing through this, will end up going down. So they get a return kill in the bottom lane. OB start to shake things up. That is an Enigma as well, so all those extra denies that he had to pull ahead of Shao in level 8, but they just keep on pressuring him, and they're gonna go again. It looks like they've got Chain Frost online. Just that first concussive shot with the lane ward, they could pretty much die this. They don't have vision of Shao right now, but they know where he's not. He's not in this long range race, but Super ran in. That catching Joe off guard, now 820, nearly finished off by this Chain Frost, which keeps him bouncing. It's one kill for the Lich, he's gonna get a double for FY, even on friggin' Lich. He can sacrifice, he can get the third, with the Frostblaster, it's a triple kill! How does he do it? No. I'm trying to dodge the splitter. That ain't gonna happen. FY Chain Frost, stampeding him in a bit closer, it will bounce! Once, twice, back to the corpse. Black will get the second kill. Meanwhile, bottom lane. Chronosphere from Shao onto Ice. He goes for the wraparound super, and Finn are like, well, we can silence, that's not it. Casual auto tech from Joe securing that kill. Looking for the... No, he's just skilled Requiem. He stopped, forgot to skill it, and then turns around to do it. Whiffs on the raise. Oh, this is not cutting it. There's a blink ready. There's no mana for a stop just yet, but that will be up in about 10 mana. As Joe jukes into the trees, has no teleport scroll. I don't know if they really want to go on him when they're this low. Good raise. He will do so. Can turn now onto the sky mid, but Black's got into the backlines. He starts chewing through them with another double damager. He just incinerates their entire team. The Chain Frost thrown out. They've lost 4. Black is hunting for the 5th. Joe Shadow, it's still going, but Black waves in again. He's dancing around now. That's why getting close to that Aghanim
He's
Scepter.
actually strong enough with the double damage to defy the backdoor protection right now. This is absolutely insane farm coming out of Black. His GPM is above 700 now in a 27-minute game, and this is before pushing the base. He can probably kick that up by about 50 to 100 if he gets a couple of towers and kills here inside the base. And he can barracks. Oh, Joe.
Well, that just
Not the way
happened.
to do that.
That just happened. And it is not actually an Axe. It's going to be a Shiva's Guard, which has some really nice synergy with this Black Hole if I'm perfectly. And GG! Just like that! Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Vici Gaming are your I-League champions.
This was, you know, it makes you think when you saw this Grand Final series play out in the best of 5 with the whole way the brackets went. I feel like Vici Gaming played the semifinals and the finals in the first 2 rounds, pretty much. They had to get through Newbie and they had to get through IG. They won both of those, I believe, 2-1. And then you just had the feeling that going up against OB, who struggled against Rave, and I believe they also, what was their first match again? That was against Virtus Pro. I think that was 2-1 as well. Didn't seem that convincing. It still, I feel like it still makes a great story that they made the finals with this team, but I still have the feeling that were the brackets set differently, we would have a different kind of grand final where Vici would be playing a best of 5 against Newbie or IG, and that would probably have been less one-sided, but you can't take anything away from Vici. They beat all the hardest opponents on the way to the grand finals, so they kind of deserve an easier grand final, but of course, maybe it's a little bit of a shame, but they had some really good series against the other 2 teams earlier.
And of course, all these players are great sports. And I think, like you said, this one doesn't like shatter the old boys the way it might some of the other teams in China. They've won a lot in their day. This was not supposed to be a team that challenged for major championships. More a team, because they still like playing competitively, they just don't want to give their lives to it necessarily, where they can have some fun, win some tournaments. It's a more relaxed approach for these veterans. But that said, Vici Gaming, it's not just like, oh, they managed to beat the team that's not really practicing. They absolutely dominated them, completely annihilated them. FY looked amazing, and Vici Gaming continued to impress in general in China. And I think it's fair to say at this point, Sin, their results are suggesting that they are the best team in the region, at least for now. They qualified for ESL, they've qualified for Star Ladder, and I believe for first place out of that region, and they're just looking scary from top to bottom.
And I've been really positively impressed with how well Black is fitting into this team right now. I think a lot of people were a little bit concerned about, first of all, when Black started playing with the Chinese teams, how well he would mix with them, and the whole CIS story with the team not really... Like, it seemed like in the start when he joined, the team was kind of rallying around Black, but you just had the feeling when things weren't going so well that they weren't really talking together. The 4 Chinese players were more talking together, and Black was kind of on his own in that team, in a sense.
Right.
But as far as